Going on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. It's me again. I'm your host, Mr. Wade of Wait a Minute POV. Thank y'all again for coming and chilling with me. I want to thank all the subscribers who subscribed lately. And I know this is just a new channel and I'm just getting started and things will get better. And I heard somebody say that they wanted me, or I should change my videos to like widescreen and all that, but I'm not trying to copy off everybody else. I'm just doing what I do, you know what I'm saying? And it's just content, but I appreciate every last one of y'all. I mean, I don't have many, but I appreciate every last one I have. Oh, and remember that these are for entertainment and educational purposes only. So, without further ado, let's get into these videos. Yeah.
Let's start here because it's my understanding that your team did this for you and you didn't really know what they were doing. What did you think was happening?
I didn't know anything about it, but when they asked me to do an impression for the hands, I did the impression, and I didn't even question. I just left it alone.
What does this mean? I know it means Rockefeller and Diamonds. Where did you get that idea from to do that?
When we first started, we had a group called Christian. When you sell 10 million, you go diamond.
Okay.
Right? We believed in them so heavy. It was like, this group is going to sell 10 million records. So we started putting the diamond up for Christian. That's how it all came about. And then we started playing with it. And then we started doing it at shows. Then the whole crowd started doing it.
He lying. Just right off the back, he lying. He said he was throwing up the diamond because of Christian, and he just knew that they would go diamond and sell 10 million. Stop lying. He was already throwing that up before Christian, the Oakland-based singing group that has the song Full of Smoke. If you don't know what that is, Google it. Before they was even signed to him. So stop the cap, bro. Y'all was throwing that up already, and you already had sold your soul. Just like how nobody ever talk about your nephews that was signed, and you gave them that Benz, and then all of a sudden them two wasn't a lot. Yeah, so we're gonna let that one go. But let's move on to the next.
50 had also had a problem with Jay-Z's God complex, telling Rolling Stone in 2009 he has a king complex. He thinks he's effing Jesus. This Jehovah shit. And in the same interview, 50 accused Jay of betraying his former Rockefeller artist, Beanie Siegel. I think Jay was saying, Rock La Familia, we family, it's the Rockefeller gang. And then using traditional business tactics, 50 told Rolling Stone. He didn't have their interests in mind. He was just doing what he had to do for himself. But 50 isn't the only person who accused Jay of stepping on a lot of people to get to the top. Former bodyguard Uncle Ron recently went viral on TikTok with claims that Jay-Z and Beyonce destroyed many artists over the years.
I know so much about you and what you've done. I know so much on how you got where you are. How you stepped on many people. Beyonce. How you guys ended Carrie Hilson's career because she said something about you. That's how hateful you guys are. How you step on anybody to stay on the top.
And then Jaguar Wright, who actually used to work for Jay-Z, alleged that a lot of people who were close to Jay, like Big L, either died or had their careers destroyed so Jay could climb to the top.
The first time I ever saw Jay-Z or even heard him spit a rhyme was at an MC battle, street battle in New York. But he didn't show up as Jay-Z. He didn't show up as the hottest rapper on the street. He showed up as a that was with Big L.
Rest
For
in
those
peace.
of you,
Rest in peace, Big L.
rest in peace, Big L.
One of the
That was the
dopest. One of the
sensei.
dopest. Yes.
Big L was who put Jay-Z on.
Without question.
And then Big L died, and then the next thing you know, Jay-Z.
Speaking of sacrifices, there's also been a lot of rumors among hip-hop fans that Jay sacrificed R&B icon Aaliyah so Beyonce could step up.
Yeah, so for those of y'all who haven't been sleeping under a rock, everybody knows that people feel like Aaliyah got sacrificed for Beyonce to step up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Aaliyah's voice wasn't as strong as Beyonce's is, but, I mean, Aaliyah was popping. Let's just be dead ass honest. So it is what it is, man. And then you look at all of the people they done stepped on. I mean, I know y'all heard about it. So we're going to move on to the next.
probably missed. The couple's obsession with the number 4 might seem cute until claims of one person controlling the other come into play. It's probably just a coincidence that both. Don't forget to remind yourself that nothing in this world is perfect next time someone tries to push the perfection analogy your way. That's right. Having said that, it seems like Jay-Z and Beyonce are far from being perfect, given the bizarre footage that has not only confirmed how Jay-Z made Beyonce dependent on drugs, but how fans are losing their minds after knowing the details of it all. Here's what happened. We have been accustomed to the fact that prominent people would engage in romantic relationships and even get married in order to further their careers and maintain their relevance in the public eye. On the other hand, the fact that the power couple Beyonce and Jay-Z are also in a sham marriage came as a complete surprise to the vast majority of people. And despite our best efforts, things are not going as smoothly as we had anticipated. This is because things are said to have gotten so bad in the Carter household that Jay-Z is supposedly attempting to maintain control over Beyonce by ensuring that she remains under the influence of drugs. And things are not going as smoothly as we all thought. Apparently, things have gone so bad in the Carter household to the point that Jay-Z is allegedly trying to control Beyonce by keeping her intoxicated. But is Queen Bey really a prisoner in her own home? Honestly, it seems like the beautiful universe inhabited by the king and queen of the pop world, Jay-Z and Beyonce, is not quite as wonderful as it may seem at first glance. Their picture-perfect lives have been shattered by the revelation of shocking secrets and scandals, including drug addiction, hot affairs, and a secret love child. Former Miss Belgium during a night out in Antwerp, Claudia Schillen stated that Jay-Z bought her a drink and extensively flirted with her. She also claimed that he touched her inappropriately. In the year 2010, additional reports circulated that adult film star Jasmine Cashmere became pregnant as a result of an affair with Jay-Z. On her Twitter account, she subsequently disproved the claim. However, the National Enquirer stated that Jay-Z paid her off and gave her a mansion in the amount of $2.5 million. Jay-Z also disputed the allegations, which is basically far out of the realm of sanity. Soon after Beyonce revealed that she was expecting a child, allegations began to circulate that Jay-Z already had a son with model Chanel Scott that he was hiding. As per Gerald Andrews, they did DNA tests. It's been determined that he's Jay-Z's baby. Jay-Z's camp vehemently denied the claims. It is important not to forget that in 2004, there were allegations circulating that Jay-Z had fathered a love child with Free, who is a prominent co-host on the Bet Show 106 in Park. Both parties were adamant that there was no sexual encounter. However, earlier in 2014, rapper LIV made statements to a number of different media sites claiming that Jay-Z had sexually harassed her in 2008 while he was dating Beyonce. There were no further developments, and Jay-Z did not offer any commentary, yet the event did take place. And of course, all of Jay-Z's infuriating behavior had to rub off on Beyonce, as evidenced by the fact that in 2009, the National Enquirer stated that Michelle Obama was aggravated by Beyonce's proximity to Barack. And naturally, we should investigate the drug aspect right now. It was claimed some time ago that Norman Oosterbroek, a former bodyguard for Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Blue Ivy, was killed by police after a drug-fueled nude rampage in Miami in recent summer. But that's not the end of it. In 2001, Jay-Z entered a guilty plea to the charge that he stabbed record producer Lansan Rivera after a fight that took place in a nightclub. He then finished the 3 years of his probation without any problems. Jay-Z has further claimed that he shot his brother, who was a heroin addict at the time when he was just 12 years old and living up in the Marcy slums in Brooklyn. And though his brother was shot, he lived through it and decided not to press charges.
I'm pretty sure that everybody knows the stuff about him poking up and all of the other horror stories that he's been accused of. But he kind of like Diddy, but a little bit more low-key. Well, that's for now, because now all the stuff that's coming out with Diddy, you already know Jay-Z finna be next. And I'm gonna say this real quick, and you know what I mean, and I already said it before, like, nobody talks about how his nephew or nephews, I think it was 2, but how they were signed and he gave them that car, and what happened to them? Nobody talks about that no more though, huh? And then he became really big. Yeah, Big L too. Yeah. Oh yeah. So, yeah. Let's move on to the next.
Kathy Karina White, many are asking about her after a post went viral on X. In 2011, she was reported as one of Jay-Z's mistress at the time. During a Floyd icing fight, she would see with Diddy and Jay-Z at a club after. No Beyonce in sight. Beyonce then released on stage that she was pregnant with Ivy. and there were statements that Kathy was pregnant as well with Jay-Z's kid. 24 hours later in 2011, it was reported by authorities that Kathy passed away. The first autopsy reported of a head injury. The second and final one was an aneurysm. The day of her reported death, all of her social media accounts were deleted. Nothing ever came of it. Jay-Z was never questioned. She was sadly forgotten by everyone in the industry. Now with the whole Diddy situation coming to light and how bad it looks, just wait until it's this man's time. You will have to dig deep. It was hard to even find anything about Kathy White. May she finally get the justice she deserves, and she can finally rest peacefully.
I heard about this one too, and yeah, you can't really find too much about that, and it's crazy because it's scandalous, bruh. You know, it's really cold how somebody can be like, you know, this is your child, or, you know, you're responsible for this. You know, they don't really even want nothing from you. And then all of a sudden they disappear and everything about them damn near disappears. Who got the power to do that? People with money, see? And then some people gonna be like, oh, well, everybody just want to mess with them because they got power and they're a power couple and all that. They're a power couple of pieces of shit. That's the only thing they are. So I don't care about all that money and all of that stuff, though. All that shit is evil, dude. But yeah, I digress. Let's move on.
We just was never privy to it.
Yeah.
We never had access to that sort of information.
I call it the room with the door behind it. You never get to that door. We always got to the first door, and we were so excited about being in that room that we never looked at the next door, right? I'm gonna stop right here. We're back. This is still Heart to Heart, and I'm still talking to Jay-Z. There's a moment in time.
Hey, what's up with all this talk about Beyonce and the Illuminati, and what are those rumors?
Everybody who works hard, looks inside themselves, finds strength, creates something special.
Okay.
The president, Jay-Z, you know, whoever does well.
For sure.
Whoever, you know, realizes their potential.
From anybody, right, to the president, whoever does really well or recognizes their potential, they try to say that that's how they base the Illuminati and stuff off of. Or is it the hand gestures and all the stuff that they basically show and how they dress and react and act? Oh, I guess that's just not part of the game, though, right? Shut your ass up. And do you see how Jay-Z looked like he wanted to kill Kevin Hart after that little clip? And he cut the saying off like and he was like, oh yeah, welcome back. We are Heart to Heart with Jay-Z. Yeah, he looked like he was about to go over there and slap the heck out of him, though. But I didn't say that. Let's move on.
Was going after these young upcoming stars before they were even of age. The fact that Jay had this friendship with Kelly while he was actively around these young girls speaks for itself to me. Anyone who is willing to condone this around them and not stop it are just as guilty as the one doing it. I am seeing a pattern when it comes to Jay-Z, especially when we talk about his long-forgotten son he had with a 16-year-old girl when he was 22 years old. According to this New York Post article, a man by the name of Rimmer Satterwhite claims to be the abandoned and forgotten son of rapper Jay-Z. According to Rimmer, his mother Wanda hooked up with Jay-Z when she was only 16 years old and Jay was 22. He claims that he is the product of that brief relationship. The woman claims she met Jay-Z through a friend back in the day and that she was introduced to him as Rock. Whether this is true or not, I don't know as of now, but knowing Jay has an interest in younger women, I wouldn't put this past him. Another alleged victim of Jay-Z is no other than Rihanna. The way that Rihanna got discovered and signed to me always left me with many questions. Rihanna was a teenager in Barbados with no connections when she somehow managed to get in a hotel room with Evan Rogers, a music producer who just so happened to be vacationing in Barbados. Rogers would invite Rihanna and her friend to perform a song for him in a hotel room alone, where he decided that he was only interested in the teenage Rihanna and would meet with her mother the very next day. Rihanna would end up signing a production deal with Rogers' production company, Syndicated Rhythm, and then they put out a demo. Two A&Rs working at Def Jam heard the demo and quickly showed it to no other than Jay-Z himself. Rihanna was then flown to New York City, where she would meet with Jay-Z and the rest of Def Jam Records team. L.A. Reid, the head of the label, told Jay-Z not to let Rihanna leave the building without making her sign the dotted line. Rihanna would sign her first major record deal at exactly 3 a.m., and it just so happened to be a 6-album deal. The first obvious thing that stuck out to me was the occult reference to Rihanna being signed at exactly 3 a.m. for a 6-album deal. But what stuck out to me even more was the fact that she was only 16 years old in 2005 when she signed. What makes this even more disturbing is that it was again rumored that Jay-Z had hooked up with Rihanna in 2005, around the time he signed her, when she was 16 or 17. Jay-Z was already 36 at the time, and apparently this led Beyonce to hate Rihanna, and this is the reason Beyonce and Rihanna don't have a song together to this day. It's even believed that the song Bow Down by Beyonce was created as a diss to Rihanna. I honestly believe this happened, as it was actually basically known in the industry. Just think about it. Rihanna, who was on Jay-Z's label, never did a song with his wife, two of the biggest pop stars in the world. You know exactly why. Because Jay-Z took advantage of his gatekeeper privilege. He knows new girls coming in the industry would do anything to make it to the top. Rihanna allegedly hooks up with Jay-Z, and she is now a billionaire. Looking at all these relationships, we see a pattern. Jay-Z was much older than all these women, and I believe he used his position of power to get what he wanted from them. So many people praise him without realizing he is truly a monster in hip-hop who takes advantage of the vulnerable.
This weirdo is just as bad as Puff, bro. Yeah, I can call him a weirdo or whatever. I don't care if he got more money than me. I don't care. I'm not demonic. I'm not living the way he is. So that shit do not matter to me. Him, his broad, everybody that's associated with him is weirdos. For real. Just look at everything that's going on with Cuz. All the baby accusations and he paying people off. People saying, oh, I was just lying and just playing. DNA test proving that it was. And then stop it. But let's move on to the next. Let's just move on to the next, bro.
Because we sing Beyonce in church. Holy cow.
We do have a community that is beautiful and loving and looks to the world as a partner, not an enemy. So if that's new to you, I hope it's good news. God actually loves you.
A lot of the people, color, LGBT people on whom other people's narratives have been projected. And just to be honest, the church wasn't the best about lifting up those voices. It really began as us saying, how can we actually be the people of God that we hope to be in the world?
And Beyonce is the perfect passage to get that message out there.
Honestly, I think Beyonce is a better theologian than many of the pastors and priests in our church today. That is not an exaggeration.
Oh my.
That was hard to listen to. That was cringing. I never liked that song anyway. I wasn't, I'm not a Destiny's Child fan, and I'm not on Beyonce's sack like that anyway. And I can care a damn thing about what Candace, what's her name, got to say, because, I didn't want to say her full name because, she's a real PAB, but we're going to let that go. But yeah, your own church and they singing like this, and then you got this flamboyant pastor. Stop the larceny, all right? This is such bullshit, and you know it. But we gonna move on.
My visit to the Church of Beyonce.
She's clearly being worshipped, and she knows the role she's playing, so... Now, Semiramis, she originally started off in Babylon as the wife of Nimrod. In Egypt, they were known as Osiris was Nimrod, Isis was Semiramis. Now, throughout history, till even today, she's been reincarnated, and they continue to worship the same demon.
I just find it interesting that people won't even get down on their knees and pray, but they'll bow down to her and all that stuff, though, and then she has her own church, like... Oh, man, I just don't get it, man. I don't. Worshiping and making it seem like a normal person like that is a god. I don't even care if you're a preacher and you really spiritual. You ain't never done nothing bad in your life. You still ain't no God or no prophet. You know what I'm saying? So what makes her man, I can't stand that broad. Anyway, let's move on.
What's going on with Beyonce's eyes? Has your eyes ever done anything like this? Or somebody you know, has your friend's eyes ever done anything like this? This isn't any video editing. This is straight from the commercial. If you know, you know. I'm not going to say it. I know, but I will let you put 2 and 2 together on what's going on here with the eyes. They walk among us. They're here. You just ain't paying attention. So again, what's going on with Beyonce's eyes? Do you see it? Do you notice it? I hope you do, because it's right there for everybody to see if you're actually paying attention. People need to wake up. It's right in front of your face. You just got to open your eyes.
The real Beyonce. Because this Beyonce that we are seeing now looks like a completely different person from the Beyonce that everybody knew. She looks a lot more lighter than ever before. So what happened to the real Beyonce? Was she cloned just like Jamie Foxx and others? I don't know. You tell me. There's no denying the fact that this looks like a completely different person. This looks like a clone of some sorts. And it seems like every time their skin gets a little more lighter. Kind of odd, no? Comment down below and you tell me what you think about this. Is this the same Beyonce? Or has she been cloned?
Well, when it comes to the eyes thing, the slits and everything, I saw that video and I rewound and everything. Yeah, so it's the same thing, but that's what happens when you're a witch and your husband is a warlock. You know what I'm saying? You could probably turn yourself into a platypus or a whale or a dolphin. Who knows, man? When that comes to that type of effery and that type of sorcery, who knows? You know what I'm saying? The type of demonic shit. But yeah, she looks like Beyonce Kardashian, or part of them, because she didn't change her whole bit, right? But I don't know what happened to her. I really don't care, because she can care less about me, so feeling is mutual. I just wanted to share these little videos with y'all. Y'all already know what this is. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. I am Mr. Wade. This is Wade Minute POV. Thank y'all for chilling with me. I'm going to see y'all on the next go round. Yeet!